3. You're listening to the Heroes Power presented by BlizzPro.com. Your host, Balrog fan, Zexorus, and DJ Tyrant. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode number 63 of the Heroes Power. I am DJ Tyrant. With me is the always lovable cast of the Heroes Power, a Heroes of the Storm podcast brought to you by BlizzPro.com. There's a whole bunch to talk about this week still, even though Heroes is a little quiet compared to certain other Blizzard titles that may have been launched recently, but we still have a lot to talk about, and we're going to start off with our week in game. Charlie, how was your week in gaming? I know you haven't been playing Heroes as much, but what have you been playing?
Okay, well, I did play with Heroes on Friday, I think, with Willie, and I also played today. We got Willie to rank 10, so he could get his mount in here.
Yes,
nice. But yeah, I got a new computer, so I finally bought Diablo and been playing a lot of that. I downloaded this game called Papers, Please that I'm absolutely addicted to. You just check the papers of immigrants trying to cross over into your country. It's freaking amazing. It sounds boring, but trust me, go download it. It's only $10. Yeah, I played a little bit of Overwatch, meaning I did a bunch of games against the bot, played one of those weekly challenges, and got absolutely curb stomped and was kind of scared away from the game, just a little. But it is a lot of fun. And I think that really is it for me. Xbox games here and there as well. Had a very gaming-filled Memorial Day weekend.
That's good. Zax, how about you? We were talking about how we helped get your rank 10. What else is going on in your gaming world these days?
it was just a couple games of Heroes this week with Charlie. I haven't really had a chance to play much else, but I have been playing a lot of Blade and Souls because I don't know why. I don't like MMOs, but for some reason that game just has me. But, I mean, yeah, rank 10. I hardly play Hero League. I don't know why. I really should. I do want to hit rank 1 before the patch hits. But, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks? Can I do it in 2 weeks?
Spoiler alert, no.
Spoiler alert, yeah.
Dang. Such confidence.
What's the word?
Thanks. Ouch. How about you, Carl? How was your week in gaming, buddy?
Nothing spectacular on the Heroes front. I played some Hero League, did some quests, earned some gold. I've been playing, just downloaded Arcade, which is an MMO. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's got ships and gliders and mounted combat and a bunch of stuff.
Did that just become free recently?
I have no idea. I just saw an ad for it on Twitch and said this looks cool and downloaded it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
there's a paid membership kind of thing that grants you access to player housing and helps with crafting and stuff.
I think it used to monthly pay, but I'm not 100% sure on
did.
One.
I don't know. It's a fun game.
Elena, what did you do in Heroes of the Storm?
Nothing.
But you did play a lot of Overwatch.
Yeah, I did. My gaming week was not Heroes at all, except for our match. It was all day, every day Overwatch day, aside from work.
Who do you play in Overwatch?
I'm going through the gamut of trying to find who I really like. My longest played, of course, is May, because why not? Today, though, last night we were losing a match, and they said, go Junkrat. Never played Junkrat, so that was a little awkward, but turns out he's a lot of fun.
Junkrat is really fun, yeah.
Yeah, but we were also playing on the Brawl mode, which is arcade. I don't know what day it switches over to the next one, but arcade mode is where everything is twice the health, twice as fast movement, 3 times the cooldown speed, so it's basically like a big, Festival of Death. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Fair is really fun on that because you just stay in the air forever.
Yeah, we hear Reinhardt's really fun in that mode also. Aside from those two, I do play a lot of Lucio. He was one of the first ones that I got a skin for. I got the frog skin because that's the best one in the game.
Pretty awesome.
But I cannot play Mercy to save my life, and she's one of the easiest characters in the game.
I absolutely love Lucio. Also, yeah, speaking about Junkrat in that arcade mode, I got blown up by that flying tire about 5 times. I actually had to play the game with it when he blew up like 4 people at once. Sick. It moves so quick in that mode.
Yeah. But heroes-wise, I'm looking forward mostly to just seeing who's next. I didn't buy Chromie because from what I've seen of her gameplay, she's not fit for me the way I play things. She's more of probably a Jeff or Carl type as far as like playstyle goes. She just doesn't seem like the kind of thing I would play yet anyways.
Yeah, you really got to build a comp around her, and no one's really quite sure what that comp is. Maybe like a Protect the Hammer comp, but we kind of were talking a little bit about it last week. It's kind of she's has her moments, but she needs time.
Yeah, it's tough. People are going to be figuring her out still, and I just am really not sure. I mean, Zex talks a little bit about it on heroesofthestorm.blissbro.com, so make sure to check that out. Get some more details on her. So
Wrote a build for her recently.
yeah, most definitely. And reminder, just really quick, we are giving away this $20 BattleNet gift card. It's unscratched. It will be scratched off when we pick a winner, so stick around for the end of the show for that. And as far as my game week, it's been basically the same as Alana's here. I've been playing a ton of Overwatch, and I think the only heroes I played was Tuesday night last week, but I also casted 2 nights last week. On Friday night I casted with Zex, and Wednesday I casted Heroes Hype, so I don't know, it's becoming oh my god, I'm dying. It's becoming I'm watching more Overwatch or more Heroes than I am playing at this point now. But
I mean,
yeah,
you're a
it's been
full-time caster, though. That's where your bread's buttered, man.
Yeah, pretty much at this point.
So, well, it's been a year since the launch on June 2nd, I believe, is when they'll be doing this.
That
They have a
sounds right.
Yeah, Blizzard put in something called A Year in the Storm. And since that date, 15 new heroes, 4 new battlegrounds, so many skins and mounts. And they're doing a big promotion in the Nexus starting on June 2nd, and it goes on till June 14th. You get an anniversary portrait, cool little, like, looks like a birthday cake made out of the Nexus with a 1 on top of it. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
But you get that just for logging in, 50% bonus experience during that time. They're also going to have a first anniversary bundle, which has a bunch of heroes, and it has a 7-day stim pack and the Tyrael's Charger. No pricing has been released on that, but generally the bundles are a pretty good deal. So
Most of these aren't in other bundles too, so.
And they kind of came out and said that it's going to be a deep discount on it, so I think it's going to be more of a discount than they normally put on these bundles. But maybe that's just me being hopeful that it'll be a really cheap bundle, because I want that Tyrael's Charger.
yeah, I kind of want it too. And these are all fairly relevant heroes to some extent. I mean, especially Arthas now. You could argue Hammer and Kerrigan and Butcher are kind of niche, almost not picks, but I mean, I don't know. I've seen them all work really well too, especially at quick match stompers.
I honestly feel Hammer's completely irrelevant at this point.
Do you
Like
think Chromie is better than Hammer?
only because she's more mobile.
Yeah.
You made him say that.
God, I hate you for that.
I mean, that's...
Wash
that's
your mouth out with
stuff.
soap.
I mean, they put a new Hammer in the game who's more mobile and has probably better range as well.
Better, honestly, better damage. Chromie's more useful than Hammer in team fights. And
Chromie is more consistently mobile, but she doesn't have a get out of jail free card like Hammer does. She can't knock back thrusters.
true.
I still think the strategy is standing on your little chrono loop, and then once it's time to get out, you force them to walk through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's a good way of doing it.
That's the
I still don't see any other relevant talent choice at 13, but bye-bye.
Yeah, you gotta have that. It seems. So, but yeah, I mean, I can't believe it's already been a year. I mean, just since the launch, I remember the launch day, that big event they had, and that was really cool. I wish they would do something like that again. It was more fun than it was esports like tournament related, and they haven't really done a big fun event like that. That was like one of the first times I think Gilly was up there casting. They had a couple of exhibition matches between was it Tempo Storm versus, or was it Cloud9 versus the winners of Heroes of the Dorm?
It was C9 versus the winners, and Fan was on that team.
Yeah,
and
that was
C9's entire goal was to kill Fan.
yeah, that was actually at the Diablo launch event. That was like 2 weeks after the launch event. So I mean, they're basically the same thing. I mean, they just announced the Butcher and the first Diablo map, and that's the last really non-esports event they've had for Heroes of the Storm. So I think we're due for another fun event like that. I mean, obviously, yes, Arena, obviously.
Yeah, I want the Arena.
And obviously, Zex and I are pretty much all in on wanting some StarCraft maps on this game.
Yeah, we definitely need some. And hey, Akuma, hey, but no, you need to take first aid on Hammer. I don't know why you keep arguing with me about this. Carl, you don't get to jump in.
You can pull down one.
Yeah, for those of you listening to the podcast, that's our chat interacting with us. Make sure to join us in chat if you can. Twitch.tv/BlizzPro, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific.
Woo! Great little plug there, Jim. That was
that was smooth.
I was just
that was
waiting
smooth
for it.
like melted butter. That was well done.
You know, you guys pointing out how smooth it was is kind of like ruining the joke.
I don't think so. I think it's really draw attention to how smooth it was. Otherwise, no one's going to notice.
That's like it's like the guy who walks away from the car blowing up and then turns around to see if it actually blew up. You ruin the whole scene.
Tight. Oh yeah. All right. Well, I'll work on that. Maybe. Probably not. So
Router did tweet that the designers didn't like the Diablo event, and they're not super likely to do another.
What?
They probably will release like StarCraft maps and stuff.
No, they're in the mix. They're definitely in the mix.
Yeah, but he said like the designers hated having to do like 6 Diablo heroes in a row because they just felt so constrained.
Yeah,
and like it just kind of sucked for them.
It is surprising to me that the game has been out a year and we don't have a StarCraft map. That's one of the big games. Like, what is the delay on that?
Yeah, that's one of the OG esports right there. You know, you think you try to include that as quickly as possible. I mean, I thought I thought for sure when Legacy of the Void dropped that we were absolutely going to get a Chromie map. God, Charlie, look what you did to me. Almost lose to a Chromie today, and
I had to bid out a few times earlier. Sorry.
And I thought for sure when Legacy of the Void dropped, we were going to get a StarCraft map with our tanks. I thought for sure that was going to happen. But it didn't, and I was really sad about it, and we're still waiting. It's like, just give us a StarCraft map.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, Legacy came at kind of an awkward time. They've done this a couple times now before, where they launch a game like the week of or week after BlizzCon, and it's like really weird for their dev teams, I think, because obviously they're rushing to get stuff together to show at the event, and it's hard to be like, hey, we expect you to put up a map or two at the same time while you're preparing all this stuff for BlizzCon. So it's just a little awkward, the timing there.
Yeah.
Oh god, a Caverns of Time map. Oh my goodness, you guys.
That would be awesome.
Oh man.
How about arena mode?
Caverns of Time map would just be one long tunnel in a spiral.
Yes, that's a
horrible.
I have the greatest idea. I know this would never happen because of the legality issues, but you get teleported to a Dota map.
That'd be fun.
Well, technically they could do that since Dota was originally
Dota,
Warcraft
not Dota
3.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warcraft 3.
So if you could pick in one of the games somewhere to make a map out of, where do you think you would pick?
Death and
Force
Return of
Unleashed.
Superman.
No, in the game, not in one of the Blizzard games.
It was a
location.
Blizzard game.
Okay,
Superman.
all right.
I'm
That's a
throwing
bit
it
of a
back.
stretch.
No,
They did the game.
I know they did the Justice League fighting game.
Blizzard released Cyborg Superman. Thanks.
The way back throwback. Oh my gosh.
I would honestly love either. I see. I'm kind of conflicted, but I want something weird. I either want a rock and roll racing map. I want
Yes.
a Hearthstone related map, or I want like something with a Lost Vikings type map. Maybe even like a battle at sea somehow. I don't know how they do it, but
All right.
most of these maps, I don't know where they come up with these ideas for these maps as is. So, I mean, I picture a StarCraft map looking pretty, but I have no idea how the objectives would work. Is there going to be like ship travel in that, or like?
I feel like there would be something about capturing a point in like the Spear of Adun like starts firing on your opponents or something like that. I think that would be kind of cool. Protoss themed map going on there.
See, what I picture is like an island in the middle that you can't actually access, but it's where the objective is, and like 15 seconds before the objective, like 3 random dropships spawn at random spots on the map, and then you have to like get to them and get to the objective and do whatever it needs to be done there.
That'd be fun.
In the middle is 2 AI, it's an actual StarCraft map going on,
Uh.
and you fight to get resources for.
Yes. Yeah, you have to get the resources, and then like the big giant enemies will come in and get you. Like you might have
Oh.
some Yamato
Okay.
cannons or something.
I just thought of one. I don't know if you guys remember playing in Wings of Liberty, but there was that map where like the lava came up and down during the map, and like so
Yeah,
there were
yeah.
areas you couldn't access. Like maybe they could do something fun with that. I don't know. That would be really fun. I want some StarCraft maps in this game, please, Blizzard.
How about a Blackthorn map?
Yeah, that's that's
Stealing from the chat, I see.
yes.
Oh, did someone just
Credit
say
to
Blackthorn?
Twiz.
Yeah.
Okay, Twiz.
Credit to Twiz. Yeah, Blackthorn would be sweet though. Like anything weird would be cool to me. And oh yeah, I meant to say, as far as that arena thing goes, if they wanted to do a fun event, they should just get the pro teams together and do a best 2 out of 3 tournament between them, and they have to just play arena.
There we go. Yeah, and
You get
make
here.
like one of them at least like all Murkies or something silly like that.
The Murky is amusing, but the 10v10 Kael'thas I think was the most funny one because it was just 10 pyroblasts flying in different directions.
I feel like 10v10 Tracer is going to be obnoxious.
It already is. You can play it in Overwatch.
Oh, that's true.
What was it? I was watching some Korean tournament where there was like I think it was Agents Rising where like Cloud9 like they all picked Agent 76.
Soldier 76, yeah.
Oh, I
It
just
was
thought
the
of
most
something.
ridiculous thing.
So-
Artifice?
One of the funny glitches in WoW, I mean, not always funny, but when you would run or teleport or jump somewhere and fall through the map, and in Overwatch and other games, you can pull people to spots where you can fall through the map. So HOT should have one map with something like that, like a pit. You have to fight around the pit.
Oh my goodness. That would be interesting.
Imagine playing Stitches and pulling someone into the pit.
That sounds like Pudge Wars in Dota 2.
Yeah, pretty much.
See, I knew you would do that.
Yeah. And Pudge Wars it's one of the most fun game modes in Dota.
Yeah, they could use something a little extra here.
What about Carl? What map would you make? If you could
I
make
said
something.
it twice. I want Warsun Gold. I think Capture the Flag would be cool.
Capture
People
the flag?
like-
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you can't do Capture the Flag in a MOBA, but we have Towers of Doom where you can't attack the core.
Yeah, exactly.
They've done it before, and the pro players all like it. You can find a way where someone has to carry an objective through and score points.
You can even make it like to where if you're carrying the flag, you have restrictions, like in Warsong. Like
Yeah.
you can't mount, you can't
Yeah,
hide.
you'd be able to mount.
Yeah, Robotic Dreamer in chat had a good idea for an Overwatch map, and it's escorting the payload. So I think to kind of adjust his idea, it would have to be multiple payloads.
It would, and each one does
So-
like 5 damage to core or
Yeah,
spawns.
that's a
I
good
don't know,
pace.
whatever.
that's a good pace, and it would be maybe a 2-lane map.
The one battleground in WoW is like that. Though I forget the name of it, but it's the one where you have to walk with the gold carts back to your side.
Yeah.
That map
I
is
don't remember
awful.
the name, but I know what you're talking about.
I never really played it that much,
But yeah, that could definitely fit. And I know, oddly enough, Blizzard's been trying to kind of put some sort of MOBA style map into WoW as a battleground. So it's kind of funny that we're talking about putting these battlegrounds into Heroes. Although I totally agree with something like Arathi Basin or Warsong Gulch would be freaking awesome.
I mean, they're just like the two
Yeah.
classic. Everybody's played 6,000 games on those
Oh,
maps.
or even like an Arathi Basin one where instead of cores,
Everything okay
Sorry.
over there?
yeah, instead of cores going down, like arena mode, you're racing to collect points by capping bases, and the bases go up. So it's like
Yeah.
a battleground, but it's MOBA style instead.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. I mean, really just some variety. Because I feel like a few of the maps are kind of the same. They're different enough to be different maps, but really there's not a huge difference between like, the channel objective, the hold the point objective, or the collect things objective.
And for those who play Diablo 3, the little rainbow goblin zone, where all the stuff is random and just attacks you, we should have a map like that, where all the minions are just everywhere and they just attack you the entire game.
Everyone just dies at level 1.
Instead of taking a path to each other's cores, the minions are just everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
As long
And they
as
just
they're cut
wander.
with bears. So yeah, it's been an interesting year. I mean, it seems like we all kind of want maps, which is funny because there was a certain point where I was just like, "Oh man, there's too many maps in this game." But Tower of Doom and Battlefield of Eternity have been kind of disappointing for the most part.
Remove infernal shrines.
I love Towers of Doom. I guess it's because I'm a Vikings player. That's like their greatest map because they get banned on it all the time.
Like I have a growing hatred of infernal shrines of just because of how competitive it is. Like what was it? Like almost every game we casted on Thursday was on infernal shrines, and like come on,
it's getting a little tiring in the competitive scene.
Yeah,
like it's add more and then shrink the rotation or bring back haunted mines.
I was gonna say, if they can do shrines and Towers of Doom, bring back mines and just make the location of the golems random. It spawns on a random spot every time.
that'd be cool. Yeah, we did those mines matches a couple weeks ago, and I just had so much fun on that map. I don't know why it's gone. It literally makes no sense. It's not so unbalanced that like. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and that kind of makes me think. I'm wondering if they're going to do this in the future, or maybe even season 1 of the new ranked mode here, but kind of put in a map rotation so that, like, it's not as many maps that are being pulled in to the rotation there. And I mean, StarCraft does this same thing, and maybe you could even have a veto system kind of where it significantly lowers the chances of that being shown up. But maybe that's probably actually asking too much, because then you're limiting the amount of players that are searching for certain maps, and queue times
I will
might
wait
get out of control.
I will wait 20 minutes for a game I want to play, for a map I want to play on. But I think Blizzard needs to increase the map pool before they institute an actual rotation. Like, they need 10, 12 maps before, like, I would go, okay, a 6-map rotation is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they basically said they won't do map vetoes either because of the queue times. It's already hard enough to get people in, and if they start issuing map vetoes to players, you're just going to be waiting forever sometimes. And I don't think they want anything longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was one of the things we were just discussing. Somebody losing interest in Warcraft, and they didn't know what to do, so people were giving them suggestions. But one of the things that I realized for me is when I needed to take a break was I was frustrated by how long I had to wait for the battleground queue. It was like almost 20 minutes, and I was like, I could be on Heroes. So if Heroes did that, it'd be a little strange.
Yeah, that would be too much of a wait time. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's been a good year though. I don't think there's really anything else to throw out. Make sure you log in during the event and get your portrait.
Yeah, and I might try to.
What do you think they'll announce this year for Heroes at BlizzCon? What are your predictions? Just for this game.
I'll say new mode. I think
New mode?
Arena will be wildly successful. People will be playing the crap out of it, and they'll do it again and announce another mode. Carl, you got any?
I don't. I'm gonna refute yours. I think any other things are gonna be kind of rolled into Arena. I don't think they're releasing Arena as it was at BlizzCon. I think they're gonna release it with like 6 things in mind that can rotate between. And so, I mean, that'll be cool, but I think it's going to come up before BlizzCon. And any like new modes are kind of going to be, it may be a new mode. It'll be part of that queue. So, I think you're right and you're not.
Sweet.
I on back of that, I almost wonder if maybe they'd include like a weekly brawl in that as well, where it's something weird every week, like only warriors or only sports. Although you can get that through quick match anyways, so.
Queue without a warrior, or don't queue as a warrior, never get one. Queue as a warrior, get 3.
Yeah,
exactly.
Willie.
This is really off the wall, but I want to see a 1v1 mode.
Okay.
To take to kind of just like, and it should be immediately available after a game.
Oh my goodness.
Revenge mode.
Challenge to 1v1 in like the chat box.
Yeah.
Zexorus has issued you a challenge.
Fight
Accept
me.
or decline.
Yeah, for like those because we've all run into that guy at some point.
For all the people who want to do the avatar slap.
In any MOBA ever, you've always got that guy in your team or on the other team who's like 1v1 me mid, fool, and you're like, "Gee, shut up! Now you can."
Oh my goodness.
Well, I think that would be fun.
It would be fun, definitely.
As long as it's the option to decline it.
Yeah.
Well, then they're scared.
Yep.
Yeah,
They're not really that good. Apparently.
As far as BlizzCon, I'm going to be really reserved. I think it's just going to be a couple of heroes in the map.
Okay.
That's what I'm expecting.
Jimmy's hoping for the StarCraft map.
I'm hoping for it earlier.
Yeah, there will probably be a universe-themed map. It won't just be like, here's a new,
I'm still going to push
whatever.
for the stars and hope for the mystery mode, where you don't get to pick your character. Every time you die, change to somebody new.
Oh my god.
That would be my ideal thing.
That sounds like a lot of fun. So we've been doing random focus segments lately, and this time it fell on me to come up with something to talk about. So I'm just going to go ahead and probably jump into the thing I've been thinking about for a while. And that's the idea of a casual and a competitive mindset. I don't think either style is wrong, and I think there's some misconceptions about casual. I don't think it's fair to say you're a casual mindset, and then when people ask you in chat to like try or like do things, and you respond, "Oh, it's just a game." Like, no, we're all here committed to play the game. You can still be casual and competitive, but just you're not working towards anything other than having fun. And winning should be the funnest thing you can do in these games. So. Competitive people tend to really want to amp up their teamwork, and they want to really kind of like push towards something like a amateur tournament, or even going, trying to try out for pros, or get a number 1 rank in Hero League or Team League. Those are things that are more of a competitive mindset. I don't think either. Like I said, I don't think either approach is the wrong way to do things. I personally have more fun playing casual. Especially competitive wise. I mean, I'm usually end up in the support role because it's what I do better, and that can get boring after a while. Like you basically are responsible for like 2 or 3 major plays, and the rest of it is just kind of standing around and soaking and babysitting, and it's just not as fun. So I don't know. It's one of those things too where I think competitive players are going to always be a little bit better at the game, obviously, because they're putting in a lot more effort and they have a lot more practice. But there can also be the thing where they're not having as much fun as the casual player is, especially if it turns into something that comes becomes like a 10-hour commitment, 20-hour commitment, 40-hour commitment a week, it can start to feel more like a job than actual, a hobby for fun. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it to Jimmy because he's on kind of both sides of this. He sees a lot of both players. And Jimmy, where are your thoughts on this kind of thing?
I mean, I pretty much agree with you for the most part. I mean, both avenues of thought I think are really valid, and that's what makes Heroes so great, I feel like, because it can be pretty easy to casually get into the game and have fun and enjoy it and set it aside and come back to it later. But there's also that competitive edge that people can get into, and the community is really rallied around that with all these tournaments, like the amateur tournaments. And I guess I'm a little biased because I'm part of the amateur scene, but I really do like watching the amateur scene because you can, especially with how rapidly teams are changing or disbanding or coming together, you'll see these teams that you've never heard of kind of just tear through amateur tournaments. You're like, wow, okay, so there's more new blood than I realized. So that's something really cool. I mean, I would absolutely love to play this game at a competitive level. It's just I'm not in a place in my life where that is any sort of real possibility, and I think that's what makes Chair League so great, is you kind of get a little taste of that. So I'm pretty much always going to be casual with this game, but I'd love to be more competitive, and I think there's a couple of heroes where I can actually be borderline competitive level on them. So it's just a really interesting topic to really discuss, and I know we have a lot of varied opinions on this, but yeah, I'm more with you, Charlie, on kind of both sides, seeing both sides and appreciating both sides.
All right, I'm going to throw it to Elena next because I know she's played with. You played a lot with C2 Ground before you were playing with us, right? Is that
C2? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a phenomenal caller. Every time I played with that guy, I've only played a couple times with him, but the guy knows it like in and out. So obviously you've seen the difference between competitive and casual, which I'd call a very casual style. So you kind of can give us light on what goes on within the teams of those different mindsets.
I think between C2 and Renal that I've played with, it's just been a matter of like how the teams end up playing together, because like you see like things on the pro scene where so and so talked to this person on another team, they're leaving, and this contract and that contract, and it's all like the high end level of it. And a lot of people don't get to that level, but they're still at a competitive level. They still compete. And they take it very seriously, but they're not quite there. So it's a matter of like how you build your team. Like there are some teams that build around concepts rather than the people they play with, and they end up just going by that. And you see it constantly. They're always rotating players. They're always filling specific spots because they're worried more about just the game synergy. But if you're practicing with people multiple times a day, it's not a day, like a week. It's a matter of like, these are the people I am willingly choosing to spend my time with, doing what I love, my hobby that I take seriously. So that's a big thing that people miss out when they do competitive things, is they don't play with people. They're just playing with characters that they can get rid of and forget about.
Yeah.
So on the casual side, it can get frustrating because there's a lack of care with, like you said, like it's just a game. Well, yes, it's a game, but you're actively playing this game with other people who are spending their time doing it. It's like watching a movie and somebody talking the entire time on their cell phone because they don't care. Right. So it's things like that where if you're gonna do it, just do it. You don't have to take it seriously. Just play. I mean, it's for fun, and there's some ridiculous plays that get made playing casually, and we've seen a few of them. I've shared them with you, and Willie has shared them. They're hilarious. And sometimes the greatest things come out of those ridiculous plays that you, like taking a boss at level 6 because they would never expect it. You would never do that in competitive play, but it's hilarious when it works. It's things like that.
Actually, playing with Willie earlier, we saw Kerrigan fend off 4 people from a boss by herself. We were all down. And she went in and got 3 picks or 2 picks and pushed 3 picks and pushed the other 2 off. It was insane. She went in there at the perfect time. You'd never see anyone do that, like you said, pro level.
Yeah, it's things like that where it's the stuff you are like, did that really just happen?
Right.
I couldn't do that again if you paid me to.
You can rattle casual players, and
I think she pulled the 3 she killed into a boss stun.
Yeah.
while she was popping ult. It was just it was the most ridiculous thing, and I have to remember we've got to send that to WTF plays.
Yeah.
Because
nope. Like immediately saw what was going on, and then they just left. Like it was so gone so quick. Willie. Great. You seem to be jumping out of your chair before I threw it to Elena, so I'll let you go next.
Well, like, I'm in that weird spot between casual and competitive. Like, I'm getting older. Right? I'm 35 right now. Like, I've always wanted to try for a pro team at some point. Like, I've always wanted to put the effort in and make that commitment. And like, I don't have a whole lot of years left. Like if I even have any.
Jeez.
Well, no, legitimately, like I think the average pro gamer probably retires mid-20s, early 30s.
Yeah, I know. It sounded like you were saying you were going to die.
We need the,
I might. You don't know that.
The Game of Thrones hold the door music. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. That's me when I tank. I'm holding the door.
Oh my goodness.
But I think there's a thing as too casual.
Yes.
Like we played a game with a random Tassadar. And I have no idea what this guy was doing. And it was the most frustrating. Like, even if I wasn't taking the games seriously, it still would have been really hard to enjoy myself because this guy just outright refused to participate. And when we finally like started calling him out on it, he just got, really defensive. We weren't even being that mean to him. Like we were just like
show up to fight,
dude. What's going on? We need you to show up to fights. And then he, like at the end of the game, he's like, "Is this your livelihood?"
Yeah.
No, but I kind of like winning.
Right.
We could have won this, but
I think I was there for that game.
Yeah, that's the frustrating thing is stuff like that where there's like plays are like super obvious to make that other people don't because they're like, oh, whatever. It's a little bit frustrating, definitely.
Yeah, it just drives me bonkers when just people bring that lackadaisical attitude to the game. Like, I understand you just want to have fun, but like winning's fun. I don't know anybody who enjoys losing.
Well, what would you call those kinds of players? Would you call them filthy casuals?
Filthy casuals.
Yeah, I call them bad players who want to fall back on an excuse. They feel like they can't. They're not good at the game. They want to play the game, but they don't want to be responsible for getting better or their mistakes. They don't want to learn from anything.
It's
like that jerk. It's like that jerk in school who you're forced to do a group project with, and they're like, "Oh, you got to put my name down on there, even though I didn't do anything."
Yep. They want to be carried to victories, or they don't want anyone to point out that they've lost. And that's the level of casual I've never want to be. Like my level of casual was always like, I've reached my plateau in this game. I could put in a ton of effort to slowly get incrementally better. I constantly do it in fighting games too. I want to practice. I want to have the knowledge. I want to know how to play the game. But after a certain point, I just want to stop working at it. Like I can't. I've got too much ADD with games. I jump around from game to game every week, and I just focusing all my effort into one. I want to be good enough at a game to compete, and that's it. Like
I wonder what your Steam library looks like.
It's actually just growing. It's growing because my computer was always a pile of garbage. My Xbox shelf though is very large. It's starting to buckle in the middle. Like
summer sale's coming.
Yes,
that's a scary thought.
Carl, we haven't heard from you yet, sir. You.
I don't know. Y'all cover most of it. I was gonna say to talk about like the individual solo queue, like casual versus competitive. Like there's the guys that are like, you can't be too competitive in solo queue. You can't be actually yelling at your teammates.
Yeah.
You can say, hey, you need to come to objectives, or you should probably stand behind the tank. Kael'thas isn't a frontliner, stuff like that. So that's like, it's okay. You can give your teammates advice. Know that they're not going to take it well. No one ever does.
Yeah.
I
I
actually
think there's
killed it.
I think there's something to be said. This is kind of on the casual, hardcore debate, I guess, really. But like, I think most people play better when they're more relaxed and not like raging against other people. I think you're much more prone to making mistakes. I mean, yeah, we joke all the time about Zuna tilting and feeding a whole bunch on Naventic, but like, I think there is something really to come of that, and I think it's something to keep in the back of your mind. And yeah, I mean, I've raged at people. I think we all have have gotten really mad at people in pubs, but I think that the more you kind of take a step back and be like, okay, it's not that big of a deal, even though we want to win. I mean, it's a balance that you have to have.
Yeah, you can, like, the casual argument is you shouldn't be yelling at me about a game. But also, if somebody tells you, hey, you should group, you don't just say like, oh, it's a game, I don't care, and just stay top, right? Play to win. You can have fun and make smart plays and even listen to your teammates. So I don't know. That's about all I had to say. Kind of mentioned already.
Well, you brought up a good point though, because I mean, I think there is a bad side to competitive players where they go, oh, this team's losing me the game, I'm not playing anymore, I'm going AFK and core, or I'm just going to do my own thing and not help out. Even the worst teamwork is better than a lack of it. So if you're in quick match, you really have no reason to be being to people, because these are people who aren't really going to be the best of the
Oh, that kind of reminds me. I mean, what can really save games is, yeah, you might have someone making like really dumb calls, but if everyone goes with those calls, it can actually win you the game, oddly enough. Like if everyone's following that, as stupid as that sounds, it does work out sometimes.
There's non-direct yelling at your team that does tend to work, like, get it together or we're gonna lose. That tends to work at least 60% of the time, like Black Panther style.
Yeah, well, you're also not singling out somebody.
Yeah, it doesn't sound rude. It's kind of like saying to everybody, hey, let's focus. And yeah, definitely, those kind of things are really good for a team to hear.
And pointing out good plays can, like, I think has a much better impact than pointing out bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you see somebody, like land a sick, chain bomb combo or a clutch ancestral or whatever, you point it out and they're like, oh yeah, they just recognize me. I'm feeling good about my play. Let's go make some more plays. Let's get hype. And it can lead to some good stuff. And then, you point out, sometimes you point out a bad play. And it's like, hey, sit back and. Half the time they're like, okay, I should probably play safer. The other time they're going to tilt off the face of the earth and hate you.
The earth is not flat, Carl.
That's the expression. I didn't make it.
Tilt off the face of the earth. I like it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just kind of a thing that I noticed. I think there's some misconceptions on both sides. We can work together as casual and competitive people and still have fun playing this game. Just don't be a filthy casual and don't be a super jerky tryhard. There's a perfect middle ground.
Speaking of tryhards, though, I kind of brought this up because it's coming up this weekend, and I wanted to talk about the second North American Summer Regional Championship, which is a mouthful. Blizzard, fix that, please. But this will be happening this weekend in Burbank, and if you happen to be in the area and have tickets, I'll see you there. Come say hi. But yeah, we have 8 teams who have qualified, and the last qualifier was a couple weeks ago, and Cloud9 and Tempo Storm once again waiting until the final qualifier to get into the event. So they did make it, though. But we do have the groups now. So we have Team Naventic, who won the first qualifier. So they're guaranteed into the summer championships. They're kind of playing this more for the prize pool than really having to get seeded into the summer finals. But in their group, in Group A, is Panda Global, Astral Authority, and Tempo Storm. And with the way this group is set up, I really think that it's going to be Team Niantic and Tempo Storm. I feel like Tempo Storm has had enough time with their new roster that I think they're going to break out in this event. I really don't think they're going to fall flat on their face like they did at DreamHack. So that would be my guess, but really it's another really crazy group because both Panda Global and Astral Authority can and have taken games off of these teams, if not series, in the past. Before we move on to the other group, Carl, I know you watch a lot of competitive heroes. I mean, what do you think of Group A there?
I mean, the Ventic's a shoo-in for making it out. I think Tempo Storm has a chance. I think Astral Authority is my pick out of there. If I'm
Really?
not getting my team's... Wait, hang on.
Astral Authority has
is-
Equinox.
Equinox. Yeah.
Panda Global's the old Blaze plus Psalm.
I was gonna say, weren't they on another team like 2 qualifiers ago? Ish.
I think I'm mixing up Astral and Gale Force. I don't know anyone else in Astral. I take that
Okay.
back. I actually don't know then.
Okay. Anyone else with any predictions on Group A before we move on to Group B?
Can you link me that real quick?
I will put it into the Skype chat, so hold on one sec. But yeah, this is going to be a really good event because last season, they had the spring finals at ESL Studios, but it was completely closed off from any audience, and it was like a super bummer to just you have to be watching it at home instead of being someone who's local, being able to go down there and hang with a lot of the Heroes community there. But this one's a little bit more open. I know ESL remodeled their studios to kind of allow for this to happen, so I'm really excited to see what the set is like and everything. And I don't actually know if any of the talent has been announced, but I have guesses and I don't want to spoil anything, so I will keep quiet on who's going to be there.
The casters and hosts?
Did they get announced finally?
Yeah, it's Gillyweed, Calaris, Jake, Dreadnought, and Jayhow.
Okay, cool. Perfect. That is awesome.
So, okay, yeah. Group A, I'm picking Astral Authority. Like, Tempo, I don't think Tempo's going to win a single game. Panda Global will probably place third. Niantic is going to get really mad.
Shade, shade, shade.
What?
So, yeah.
And then Cloud9's going to win their group because
Dunk Train streamed on a treadmill.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see that?
I haven't
he
seen
did
it.
it
I heard
again?
about it.
I saw it last week.
Did it a
It
couple
was the most
times.
ridiculous thing.
Oh, that's great.
Like, he's like bopping people while getting a workout, and I'm like,
Yeah. But yeah,
God.
for,
Can't even
I
look
hate
at you up
you.
at the same time.
For those not familiar who is in Group B, it is Brainpower, who is formerly Cognitive Gaming. They left their organization and they're just called Brainpower now. So I assume they're looking for a sponsor at this point, but I don't know any more than that. And we have Gale Force Esports team name change, which used to be THC. And you can see why Blizzard forced them to change that name. And Cloud9. Cloud9 is easily the favorite of this group, and I fully expect them to get out of this group. And Gale Force, I think, is kind of a shoo-in for number 2. I feel like the disparity between Brainpower and TNC against the other two teams is just a little too much for them to overcome. But crazier things have happened in Heroes Esports, and I will probably be proven wrong.
Yeah, probably Cloud9, then Gale Force, Brainpower, then name change. That one's, I think, more cut and dried than Group A.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Is this the one where you get the Diablo portrait?
No, that is I had it just up right now. Oh shoot. Where was it? Summer finals.
What do you
yeah,
think
DreamHack
that-
also it's June 18th through the 21st. In Sweden? Yeah, Sweden.
So
Yeah, the
since-
actual world championship is the Diablo one. This is still a regional event.
Yeah. And this is actually the final qualifier to see who comes to that event. So we have from Europe Dignitas and My Insanity, from North American Naventic, and whoever wins or gets second place from this event.
Second place has to best of 3 Cloud9.
They do? Oh, that's right. There's going to be a
Naventic gets first,
tiebreaker. America has a better showing this season than they did in Korea last season, where basically the Korean Chinese teams just completely bopped everybody.
Yeah, where MVP Black really made their presence felt.
They still are. They're still the favorite to win the whole thing.
You know,
I'm checking.
Their dream came true.
Southeast Asia region is Renovatio 1, and then from Australia and New Zealand is Negative Synergy. So some fun teams to come out of there. I really hope that North America has a better showing this season than they did in Korea last season, where basically the Korean Chinese teams just completely bopped everybody.
Yeah, where MVP Black really made their presence felt.
They still are. They're still the favorite to win the whole thing.
You know, I feel like for as much hype as this stuff gets in Anaheim every year, and in all these qualifiers, most of the people that attend these events have no idea what it's like over in Korea and China at these events, like what the difference is between the two and the insanity level.
Yeah, it's like a playoff game in football.
It's like the World Cup over there.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
But yeah, I wanted to make clear, Carol and I really kind of glazed over it, but basically how the qualifiers work is, we'll just assume that Naventic gets first in this qualifier this weekend. Whoever, if it's not Cloud9 who gets second, whoever gets second has to play a best of 3 against Cloud9 as a play-in game to qualify for DreamHack for the summer finals, which that could be exciting if it really comes down to that. I would be a little surprised if it does, because Cloud9, until I'm proven wrong, is just so good on LAN.
Yeah.
Did Monty Python make all these qualifier rules? Like, I'm really confused at where this stuff comes from.
Basically, what happens is they did it so that, like, if Naventic gets first and, you know, like a former Blaze gets second, right? In the old format, Blaze would just go, but arguably Cloud9 has the exact same performance as them. They play second. Each of them plays second once. So they had to do that. But if Cloud9 is first, or Naventic is first and Cloud9 is second, they're guaranteed. Otherwise, you get fun tiebreakers.
Or if Naventic doesn't even place in the top two, then it just is whoever's first.
Winning. Yeah.
But Naventic's already qualified, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes. But they're still playing in the regional.
It's still 25,000 for first place if they win this. So they're definitely going to be putting their best foot forward.
But if you've already made it, you shouldn't there shouldn't be you've already won your round. Okay, go sit in the corner and wait for your turn.
In the qualifiers for the regional, that's what they did, because there was no cash prizes.
Oh, okay.
But when there's money involved,
I think in the past they've kind of been known to do that a bit.
Yeah, I doubt they'll try any of their really weird pocket, strats or whatever. They'll probably say, okay, how would the average HOTS semi-intelligent person draft this? We want to get a mage first. We probably want Muradin or Johanna or ETC as tanks, and maybe a couple melees. Whatever. Don't draft Lili. They'll follow the 6 fundamental rules of drafting, and then be done with it.
I love how one of the 6 fundamental rules is don't draft Lili.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like number 2.
Intelligent person draft this. We want to get a mage first. We probably want Muradin or Johanna or ETC as tanks, and maybe a couple melees. Whatever. Don't draft Lili. They'll follow the 6 fundamental rules of drafting, and then be done with it.
I love how one of the 6 fundamental rules is don't draft Lili.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like number 2.
I guess just to close this out, what do you think we'll see any Chromie at all
No.
Not if Willie has anything to say about it.
Yes.
Oh, I will go on a
Not
tear
much.
on Twitter
It'll
if I
happen.
see a Chromie pick.
I feel like I said when Tracer came out, that she was murky with guns. Like, I feel like Chromie is one of those characters where if somebody is really good at her and really good at like the team doing like cheese type stuff, it's possible. I mean, Cloud9 played murky at the championships and they won. Like,
Yep.
it's doable.
Yeah.
It's just really tricky.
Going into that, no one was picking Tyrael, and then I think it was it the Australian team that was running the Tyrael team that had
I don't know. I think
What's using
I know
Sank-
the Asian teams run Tyrael all the time, and until an American team can run a Tyrael as well as them, I don't want to see any of them pick Tyrael at all.
I just want to say that's what Elena's right. I mean, it won't be a thing until someone makes it a thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
And the one team that can do that is Panda Global.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of brought Cho'Gall out of the woodwork for a bit. I mean, we still see Cho'Gall every so often on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yep.
Willie, you wanted to?
No, what I had to say was something completely unrelated, but I don't think Chromie's going to get picked.
I don't either.
Like, I can understand a Tracer pick on like Tomb of the Spider Queen or Blackheart's Bay or something like that. That pick makes sense.
Even Towers.
Yeah, I don't understand. I can't comprehend a Chromie pick at all.
Mhm.
There are several other heroes who do what she does and do it better than what she does. So that, like, again, I'm just gonna say she needs an entire rework. Like, I'm so happy a lot of you think she's bad now.
I think her design is good. Sure, she's just weak.
Aya said Tempo Storm picked her in a Team League game that he was in the other night.
That's not competitive.
Yeah, but
That's
just
them trying it out, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's still something. But why don't we give away this this $20 Battle.net gift card?
okay.
Think you made loot box gift card?
Yeah, your loot crates in Overwatch are sitting here. But yeah, go ahead and hit ! Raffle or portrait. No, only raffle will get you in on this. But yeah, go ahead and do that, and we're gonna start closing out the show. But yeah, go ahead and do that, and we'll draw the winner in just a few minutes.
So a thing I just noticed, in the party finder, I just noticed this today. I don't know if it's been in here for a while, but there's players who are close to your skill level. They have a little star beside their name.
Yeah, I think that came in the Chromie patch, I believe.
Did it? It's the
Yeah.
first I've noticed it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jimmy. I don't have a
No.
star by your name.
No, I know. I don't see a star by your name either.
Do me and Jimmy have a star next to each other? I feel like we probably would.
You have to be logged in to
I don't
Heroes.
heroes.
Okay.
We'll check.
I don't play Heroes, he says, in the Heroes Power Hour.
Yes, I don't play that game. I play Papers, Please competitively. So, if you're looking for anything related to Heroes of the Storm, I recommend going to heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com. It's an amazing site. We have all kinds of wonderful things there. Willie built, despite hating her, he spent a lot of time and made a Chromie article. We have Alebeard writing articles about various levels of play. His most recent one was talking about Chromie's win rate, why she's bad, why she isn't bad, things of that nature. We pretty much release the weekly article. We get all the blue posts as they come out. Anything you really want for Heroes of the Storm, I recommend going to heroesofstorm.blizzpro.com.
Yeah, speaking of that, Zach's actually just put up an article about a Q&A coming out from Blizzard. I think it's just an AMA on Reddit, basically, about the new Hero League structure. So if you have questions about that, that's your opportunity to go ask them and stop harassing Dustin Browder on Twitter.
Yes.
Give the poor man a break. He's got chemo.
God.
Jimmy, you want
I
to let
love you,
everyone
Dustin.
know about our Patreon account?
Yeah, if you feel so inclined, we do have a Patreon account, patreon.com/heroespowerhour. lets you donate to us to help us out with any sort of hardware failures we might have, and just help improve the show and make it better for you. Any amount above $1 will, or $1 or more, will get you a spot guarantee you a spot in our player games, which will be coming up right after the show every Tuesday night, around 8:15, and it's just a way for you guys to show your appreciation to us, and we'll be working on some more rewards in the future. But I believe we still do have that goal for if we get to $300 a month. Charlie will do some coaching for some people, help them improve the game. If that's something you're interested in, make sure to tell your friends about the show and get them to get on that Patreon. And also another way to show appreciation for the Heroes Power and just BlizzPro in general is if you haven't seen it yet, and if you're listening to the VOD or the audio podcast, you won't see me pointing at it, but it's the subscribe button for the BlizzPro Twitch channel is there. Gives you that lovely emoticon that Zex just put up in chat. But $5 a month, and we get $250 of that, and that just helps the BlizzPro channel and site in general. And we appreciate everyone who, even if you don't subscribe, even if you don't donate to the Patreon, we appreciate you coming out and checking out the show and supporting us. We really do this for you guys.
Plenty of other shows here too that take advantage of that subscribe button, or just even the follow. We always love having the follow. And those shows are the West March Workshop, the Diablo themed podcast that takes place every Wednesday. There's the Payload podcast, which Jimmy is a part of. That's every Thursday. We have Well Met every Sunday night. And those are the shows. Obviously ours on Tuesday. So they're all great shows. You should really watch all of them if you love things that are all Blizzard related.
Yeah, most definitely. And I guess we should go ahead and draw our $20 Battle.net gift card winner.
How do you get the Overwatch Loot Crate? Well, what you do is if you won this, you get the Battle.net card, and you would put the money into your account, and then you go into Overwatch and spend that money. It'll offer you the chance to spend your Battle.net balance, which will be $20 bigger. And yeah, that's how you would get that.
And here we go. We're going to close it out in 15 seconds. Hurry up and put in an exclamation point raffle if you still want to get in.
Engaging in 10, 9, 8, 7.
Now loading Battle.net card giveaway. All right, it is now closed out, and we are going to draw our winner. Drum roll.
We need to get you some drums.
I know, I need to get something. You play soft. Thank you for checking out the show. And yeah, oddly enough, you're the one who asked about getting the Overwatch Loot Crate and how you get this. You'll find out. There'll be some instructions on the Battle.net site. So
you better find out.
As soon as I scratch this off, see it's unscratched, not scratched yet. So as soon as we finish the show, we'll get that to you, and you'll be getting a direct message from me on Twitch. I'm DJ Tyrant, so keep a lookout for that. And thank you everyone for coming out to the show. Final thoughts?
Spam filter, by the way.
What was that?
It may show up in your spam filter.
Yes. Yes.
It's going to be on the Twitch channel though, where you'll get the message.
Yep. So thank you for coming out and checking out the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, nothing. That was a good show.
Team.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Charlie found a message from wow, this was President Barack Obama actually reached out to us and gave us this message. So we'll leave you with these thoughts.
Stay tight.
Oh man.